to the O'Neill Show.
So, like I mentioned in my last review, I think that there is something at this time that Lisa has that Mike wants, and there's something that Mike has that Lisa wants. So basically, this is a symbiotic relationship at this point. I'm not saying that they should get together because I know people stay them going and say, O'Neill, you are proponenting for people to cheat again. That's not what I'm saying. Let me just make sure something real. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Great job. Hey, I just wanted to thank you for saying what you said earlier. It really made a difference.
Oh,
I,
the truth.
thank you. You know,
Good.
it's hard sometimes to not feel like the world is on your shoulders whenever I just deal with certain things at home, you know. Anyway, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Like, I know that I'm all sunshine and rainbows and whatever, but do you see me as a passive woman?
Passive. I mean, I can't say, to be fair, I know you well enough to make that assessment, but from what I see so far, I would say you seem very calculated.
So I will say I see her as a passive woman. I don't know what's wrong with that though, because I feel like she has a nice spirit. So far, again, me not know her fully, just like Mike is saying he doesn't know her either. I don't know too much, but all right, the calculated part could go there. But I see her as passive, and I don't mind it at all. It's just that Darren does not like it.
I think the only thing I would say passive, just for me, what I see, I think you probably pass on things you can't control. And sometimes people make the mistake of thinking that's passive, right? What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Aries. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. You ain't passive. You're a leader. I mean,
Yeah.
look at what we're doing here. The fact you're passionate about something this hard, it shows who you really are behind the rainbows and the smiles and all of that. Because this is hard to be passionate about. It's very hard. So that means that you secretly, you like a challenge. You like to be challenged.
I do. I do.
See? So I don't think you're passive at all.
I don't think nothing is wrong with being passive. Like, look here, I don't get what's wrong with being passive. What's wrong with if a woman is, cool and she'll. No, I don't want you to be too passive if that's what you're asking me. Like, meaning I don't want a woman that is too passive because I still want it to be. Okay, here's why I look at women in relationships. While I want a woman to follow my lead, I also want a woman to tell me exactly if things is not going well. What that mean, O'Neill? That means I don't want you to sit down there and things going bad and you don't start interjecting. Hey, O'Neill, I think you're messing up. O'Neill, you're effing up. I think you're not doing the right thing that you're supposed to be doing. Do it this way instead of this, or let me suggest this. What do you think? I want to hear from people. That's how me take it. Because I feel like while at the time that you want to lead, you also sometimes, I feel like you sometimes have to follow in order to lead. If that makes sense. You want to be leading, but there are different points where you want to follow to lead because you may have a person that have a better idea than your idea. And so you may have to follow that idea until you get to whatever the goal is of your idea. So I feel like you want to have that in there. So I don't mind that, but all right.
It takes a certain type of person to see past the smiles and to see what's really cooking in the kitchen. What do you think? Do you think you're passive?
You know, I've never really seen myself as a passive person, but I just put up with a lot of things through the years that maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. And so it makes me question myself now. Maybe I have become passive just to keep the peace at home, to not have to deal with certain things, So it's made me question myself.
Let me say this to you. Leaders put up with a lot. To be a great leader, that's a part of it. So don't question yourself. All right? I mean, you made me stronger.
Yeah, we need to test these muscles out.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a chemistry between her and Mike that you're starting to see. Whether you like it or not, you're going to start to see that chemistry. And again, O'Neill is not partitioning for them to cheat because I know people stay them or take this and start running with it and not understanding what the people I'm trying to give you inside the storyline. The deal of the matter is this. When you have a wife, saying this is for men, when you have a wife, if you not take care of the wife, just like how sometimes Anthony does not take care of Amber, if you not take care of the wife, she tends to start to spiral out of control and she starts to look for another leader. That's what tends to happen. If you know what I really want me give you the truth, but when it comes to even Anthony, what happens with Anthony is that Anthony lead well enough. So because of that, Amber spirals out of control. Now, some part of it more Amber to work her thing, but I'm resting it for Anthony. The point with Anthony is that Anthony needs to lead the thing properly. And I think that's what's happening with Darren thing. But Darren's thing is in the opposite. Darren is trying to overexert. And you can't really overexert upon a human being because you want them to be inspired by a leadership versus being afraid too much of a leadership. You want to inspire. Sure. It's better to be feared than loved. That's what Machiavelli had said. Better to be feared than loved. You understand? Because sometimes love tends to make you get very casual. Right? But I feel like you want to go along with that. You want some amount of fear in there, but you want some amount of... And fear as in to the point where you basically will correct. That's all I'm saying. It's not that being afraid, but yes, circumstances then, consequences. That's what I think I'm getting at.
So I'm gonna get out of here, but I would scrap that idea. You gotta pass it on.
Okay.
You're a leader. You're fearless. And you're Aries.
I am.
You're Aries.
I'm an Aries. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. Well, we're gonna test your strength next time I see you, or now you can, try to pick me up, see how strong you are.
I can pick you up if I had to.
Oh, next time. Okay. Bye.
So that it's getting into her. And it's not because Mike is trying to do it deliberately. It's because the woman lack love. She lack some amount of leadership from Darren. She lack just regular affection. She lacks what you call it now, someone pouring into her. Say yes, when a next man come by, I'm gonna pour that type of love in her and it'll be easy. It's gonna be easy for the next guy, and that's what's happening between the Mike and the Lesa thing. Also, what's occurring is that Lesa brings that I'm not fighting, I'm not trying to do anything to you kind of attitude. And Mike is already trying to get away from most of that anyways. Think about everybody that has come around Mike. Everybody has tried to exert themselves. Melissa tried to exert herself. Dominic tried to exert herself. Which other girl Mike have again? Everybody has tried to exert themselves on him. Lesa is not doing that. She just have to be herself, and I think he likes that. But hey, give me our stake. Give me our stake. We want to start to feel about this. Do you sense any chemistry or no sense of chemistry? Give me our stake. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm going to talk to y'all soon.